Guys, hello and welcome. Today, I want to talk to you about one of the most important things to me. And while you listen, you're going to figure out how I became the fashion icon that I did. And you're going to find out how you can become just like me, while also learning how to walk in integrity and how to look after the most vulnerable people on our planet. So join me now in the mountains. And let's start with selfishness. So what is selfishness? Selfishness is simply when I make a decision based on what I think is good for me, and that's it. Now, not many of us would like to think that we are selfish. Not many of us would like to think that we are people that oppress the vulnerable. But what I want to suggest is actually there is a form of oppression that we're a part of, and there's a form of selfishness that is so accepted by our culture that it goes unnoticed, that we don't even know that we're a part of that problem. And where that lies is in our consumeristic culture. The way we consume coffee, chocolate, and clothes. And I want to major in on the clothes point of view. Now I want to ask you the question that I ask myself. When I buy clothing, what are the factors that are at play? 1, do I like it? Do the clothes look good on me? Point 2, was the price right? Was the price right? Now, based on our definition of selfishness, we would say that I was selfish. I was someone that made a decision based on me only, because not once did I consider the people who made the clothes. Didn't even come into play. And even when I started to realize and know that my actions had effects on people on the other side of the world making my clothing, it still didn't change. I wanted the cheapest, easiest, nicest clothes. I didn't want to have to be restricted by some sort of code of ethic. And that is selfish. Now, I want to tell you a few ways in which I have figured out for me how to buy the right clothes, how to make sure that everything that I wear has got no blood on it, and that is actually bringing people out of slavery, that is bringing people out of oppression and vulnerability, and I don't even have to give to charity. And here's how I do it. Before I tell you that, here's where I'm going. Up there, up that ridge line to the top of Mount Technical. Now the first thing is find your brands. Find the brands that are doing it right and stick to them. Don't go outside them. Now the right brand is the brand that's getting audited by an external third party that's checking that the working environment of the factory people, the labourers that are actually making our clothes, are doing it correctly, good working conditions, paying them a living wage so that they can work themselves out of poverty. Point 2 is be prepared to pay the true cost. Now, often I've found in my experience that cost isn't extortionate, but it is more than the cheapest stuff out there. But here's something true. Someone is always paying the cost, whether it's you or the vulnerable people. So be prepared to pay that cost. Or if you can't afford the true cost, then you're gonna have to stick to charity shops. Now, maybe you don't like charity shops, but that is the price we have to pay to look after these people. Now, obviously, charity shops are great because they also support charities, so it's not a bad thing. And thirdly, buy less. Just buy less. It's our demand for the sheer volume of clothing that we want in the West that is driving these factories and companies and brands to put pressure on the labourers to produce more and more and more in shorter amounts of time. That means super excessive working times and hours and little pay. So buy less. And if you buy less, it has an incredible impact on the environment as well. So that's how you do it, guys. Find your brands, pay the true cost, and buy less. Now, I am fiercely driven by my God, and in his scriptures, that says, speak up for those that don't have a voice and stand up and fight for those who are oppressed. That's what drives me, what drives you to be someone of integrity. Please don't feel judged by this message, please be inspired, and let's make a change.
I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world.